On the news, Senate screens and confirms Tegbe Enikonlaye as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. House of Representatives approves committee's reports on the Nigerian Police Trust Fund Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026. Plus, stakeholders speak on advancement of workers' welfare, employment and productivity in the face of the current state of economy. Good evening to you viewers. Welcome to Parliamentary News on NTA. I am Abubakar Yusuf Galadima. Reports reaching us from the Red Chamber indicates that the Senate has screened and confirmed Mr. Joseph Olasunkomi Tegbe as minister in line with the provision of the Constitution and as requested by President Bola Tinubu. Mr. Tegbe was appointed last week as Minister of Power following the resignation of Adebayo Adelabu. While fielding questions during the screening, Mr. Tegbe promised to address grid collapse, ensure generation stability, and build capacity for efficiency. Also screened and confirmed by the Senate is Ambassador Shola Enikanloye as Minister. He was appointed as Minister of State designate for the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Moving to Green Chamber, the House of Representatives has approved the report of its Committee on Police Affairs on the Nigerian Police Trust Fund Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026, a parliamentary intervention to strengthen the police in Nigeria. The bill seeks to enhance the 2019 Act by prioritizing better funding, modern training, and improved welfare for officers of the Nigerian police. The National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports.
Wednesday's sitting of the House of Representatives reconvened into an almost empty chamber where rows of empty seats told a story of a slow start. But that did not deter legislative business. A major intervention on national security came through the consideration of the Nigerian Police Trust Fund Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026, which proposes 1% from the previous 0.5% funding from the Federation account.
The principal one has just been repealed and then reenacting it to give it more vigor, more strength, and a way of revitalizing this very police trust fund.
To provide funds for training, security equipment, machinery, and improve the general welfare of the Nigerian police.
Concerns over mobile communication services in Nigeria once again dominated discussions on the floor. Through a motion from Usman Jaha, legislators turned attention to the persistent challenge of dropped calls, weak network coverage, and the rising cost of mobile communication services.
The telecoms companies must take urgent steps to improve on the following. 1. Invest in modern infrastructure and technology. 2. Expanding network coverage, especially in rural areas. 3. Improving customer service system. Then finally, ensuring fair pricing that reflects service quality.
The extent to which these service providers have interfaced with our security agencies to support them in tracking down the locations of bandits and other criminals.
Network operators, because if you look at their balance sheet, they are making a whole lot of billions in profit, and I think they are satisfied with what they have already without improving on the network.
In resolving this need, the analysis should include the opinion of the regulator, the regulated, and the served.
Representative Mohammed Jejere drew the attention of members on the need for the Federal Road Safety Corps to strengthen enforcement of speed limits and public awareness in Damagun, Fune local government area of Yobe State.
Number 4, call on the Federal Ministry of Works to conduct a comprehensive safety audit of the road with a view to implementing lasting solutions to prevent further accidents.
The House also considered and approved the report on the amendments of the Federal Road Safety Commission Act 2007. Well, that bill is basically to strengthen the mandate of the Commission. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nko, NTA News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has affirmed that the recent approval of gratuity for civil servants and other ongoing social protection schemes are a clear demonstration of the federal government's commitment to workers' welfare. This was part of the presidential speech at the 2026 Workers' Day celebration, delivered by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Joseph Osen completes the reports.
From every sector of development, these workers converge to celebrate the hard work they put through for the progress of the country.
As these workers march in solidarity, they believe they have passed a clear message. Apart from the physical security, they want social protection, which represents affordable housing scheme, reasonable health insurance, grants, and soft loans.
Nation cannot function and an economy cannot grow when its people are under constant threat. It is truly absurd to talk about economic growth without resolving security challenges.
We must act decisively to revive domestic refining capacity, ensure fair access to crude for local processors.
The federal government says it is not alien to the needs of the people. Its national policing system, salary increment for workers and pensioners, release of over 700 billion naira for the payment of outstanding pension arrears and housing loan for workers, among other social protection schemes, are all efforts to address the workers' needs.
Comrades, we understand that decent work also means dignity after service. That is why we cleared up pension arrears inherited from the past administration and launched the pension micro-pension plan for workers in the informal sector. Through targeted interventions in agriculture, small and medium enterprises, infrastructure development, and skills acquisition, we are laying a solid foundation for inclusive growth.
Beyond wages, we are investing in job creation initiatives that empower our youth, strengthen industries, and expand opportunities.
Today, we address you as traders, as factory workers, as technocrats, who are the engine of Nigeria.
It is a consensus here that decent work is not a favor, it is a right. And it is time to move from minimum wage to a living wage for the workforce to continue steering economic growth. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
Amid resounding chants of solidarity and colorful display of unity, Nigerian workers mark another Workers' Day, an enduring tradition that underscores the critical role of labor as the backbone of national development. But beyond the pageantry at the Eagle Square in Abuja, workers are drawing attention to pressing challenges, including insecurity and growing concerns over wages and welfare, while looking at governments for relief and lasting solutions. Ekene Ndulu takes it from here.
The chants of solidarity echo through the air, underscoring the power of unity and collective action in advancing the cause of Nigerian workers. Nigeria joined the global community in recognizing the dignity of labor when May 1st was declared a public holiday in 1980, with the first nationwide Workers' Day celebration held in 1981. Since then, the annual observance has evolved into a strong symbol of resilience, solidarity, and the continuous push for fairness and equity in the workforce. Here at the Eagle Square in Abuja, workers from across all sectors have once again converged not only to celebrate their contributions to national development, but also to reflect on the progress made and the challenges that remain. This year's celebration is shaped by pressing national concerns, as workers highlight insecurity and poverty as major issues affecting productivity and overall well-being within the workforce.
For journalists, it means families who are underpaid can no longer feed their family. We also talk about delayed salaries. For me, it's stifle creativity. So all we are demanding is decent work.
As a union, we think that a minimum of 150,000 naira per month. If you are talking about living wage, it will be far, 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 far more than that.
Not everyone that government could provide job for. We provide job for ourselves. We train people. However, after training these people, what happened to them? They have been neglected. Our industry have been neglected in general, the beauty industry.
Amid the demands, the Chief Commissioner, Public Complaints Commission, advised labor leaders to prioritize dialogue over confrontation in the pursuit of their legitimate demands.
Let us recommit ourselves to the ideals of justice, equity, and mutual respect in the workplace. Let us recognize that every grievance is resolved peacefully is a step toward national stability, and every worker treated fairly is an investment in Nigerian future.
And as workers depart from this year's May Day celebration, all eyes will be on commitments made and actions that will follow in shaping a better future for Nigeria's workforce. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
To discuss further on the Nigerian workers, especially as it focuses on the advancement of workers' welfare, employment and productivity in the face of the current state of the economy, is the Chairman Senate Committee on Labor, Employment and Productivity, Senator Deket Plank. You're welcome to Parliamentary News on NTA. The 2026 Workers' Day as an annual ritual has come and gone. What makes this year's commemoration peculiar? Any takeaway from your perspective as a key stakeholder?
1st May in Nigeria every year is a memorable day for Nigerian workers, both in the private and in public services, because it is almost like an opportunity for cross-sectional ventilation of experiences, exchange of pleasantries, parades, and subsequently an opportunity for the workers to air their feelings, make public requests from the employer, and probably interact with both the executive, the legislators, and I'm very certain with the judiciary. So if you look at the activity that the 1st May public holiday carries, you will know that it's a period that every Nigerian worker will not like to miss. It's also a period for the leadership of the various unions to meet, interact, share pleasantries. So for me, it's quite unique, and you all know that the Nigerian worker represents the entire country. That is a place where every tribe is. That's a place where every constituency are. And subsequently, it's also a place too where intertribal, interreligious harmony takes place. So you could imagine that once a while they have an opportunity to come out and share joy, share opinion, let the world, the entire world and the nation in particular hear their feelings, their views, and also make requests. And in most cases, in the presence of the executive, in the presence of their employers, in the presence of lawmakers. So I feel it's deeply quite unique.
Some sections of the Nigerian workforce believe that their yearnings are yet to be addressed in the true sense, especially as electioneering draws near. Do you agree with them regarding the government's shift in focus?
In as much as, yes, workers, the value of the naira has gone very low, but I still feel that from our own 2026 budget screening, I do know that in the side of government, no worker is owing a salary in arrears. Sometimes it is better no matter how small it is, and it's paid that when due, it has a value. So I do know that, yeah, the economy is very harsh on everybody, but I still feel that Nigerian workers can still count some blessings in this administration. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for me, it's a government that's a listening ear, because there is always sufficient time to discuss labor issues, both from the private sector and also at those at the government level. So the President is very inclusive in terms of human capital development and also the welfare of Nigerians.
What should Nigerian workers be expecting differently this time around from the current administration, especially amid the tax regime? Are there any legislative measures to guide against this?
Yeah, you are right, but I wish that as Nigerians' revenue drive is increasing, Nigerians and all of us, leadership and all of us, must work towards ensuring that the social needs of Nigerians are improved upon. Our roads should be better, and Mr. President is doing his very best to ensure that modern roads are built. I am happy. I'm coming from Plateau, and we requested for the inclusion of the Akwanga Jos Bauchi Gombe Road as a legacy project. Was approved. Mr. President has made it the fourth agenda on the legacy, on his legacy project. And I was returning from Jos yesterday, and I saw the company, the side of the company, finished building the side at Gwantu, and machines are there, and I'm happy. And if you look across, we have the Coastal Road, we have the Badagry Sokoto Road ongoing. You also see how the center of the nation, Abuja, is being dissected and really well ventilated in terms of roads. Yes, the hardships are there. The price of petroleum has gone up. And the tax. And you spoke about the tax. And I tell you too, the tax is graded. There are those whose minimum wage, the tax may not catch them and they go tax-free. But the tax is done according to the income of Nigerians. The higher you earn like public servants, the higher the tax. But the lower categories, there are those who are tax-free. But may the utilization of this money be in such a way that will come back and provide medicine, medical care, will provide basic educational needs, basic road needs, water supply to Nigerians. It will really, really alleviate the feelings of the tax, high tax on Nigerians.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the topic and for your time with NTA Parliament News, Senator Plank. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Parliamentary News, reaching you from NTA Parliament, Abuja. You can follow the platforms on the screen for more updates. Moving on, speakers of the National Assembly of Nigeria and the Gambia are advocating ECOWAS region to remain a living covenant of peace and shared prosperity in response to the expectations of over 400 million citizens with a view to safeguarding democracy. This was re-echoed during the opening of the 2026 First Ordinary Session of the 6th Parliament in Abuja. Mohamed Rabiu Ali reports.
Another session is here, with attendees from the 12 member countries, excluding Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. The session is coming at a time of profound consequence across the Sahel, persistent threats of terrorism and violent extremism. Speakers of the Parliament of Gambia and Nigeria say ECOWAS must confront these trends with clarity and courage, underpinned by trust, dialogue to shared values.
ECOWAS has established frameworks to support these objectives. The focus now must be on implementation. Early warning mechanisms, peer review processes, and technical support for member states should be strengthened to ensure that democratic standards are upheld consistently. Regional integration cannot be sustained by treaties alone. The strains on constitutional order in parts of our community and the signals of disengagement from regional commitments pose a direct threat and challenge to our cohesion and credibility of the ECOWAS project.
The leadership of the ECOWAS Parliament believed in a broader dimension to the role of Parliament in the current global environment, strengthening frameworks to support these objectives as paramount.
He is therefore a devoted servant of our community, whose deep knowledge of our institution and our region will be of great value to the Parliament in the discharge of its mandate.
The session will last for 2 weeks. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
In Abakaleke, the Ebonyi State House of Assembly has passed a bill to establish the Office of the Public Defender in the state. The bill followed a request contained in a letter from Governor Francis Nwefuru to the House seeking approval for the establishment of the office. Details with Samuel Opo.
The Office of Public Defender, as contained in the governor's letter, is meant to give voice to the voiceless and reduce intimidation and abuse often meted to the poor and vulnerable in society. House members took turns to air their views on the bill, where they underscored its relevance to Ebonyi people. According to them, the bill will reduce victimization of the poor by the rich, decongest prisons, and safeguard the fundamental human rights of citizens, among others.
This bill is very apt, considering that it is for public defending the masses is very imperative, especially in a state like Ebonyi State. We can therefore tell that a lot of times the masses out there may not have the voice, may not have people that will defend them, may not have the resources, the money to prosecute their matters, even when they have the right of what the cause of the action. This is another bill, another law the state will make to enhance the citizens' rights. And it will enhance the rule of law, where the poor man will not be victimized by the rich. But this bill will establish like a council made up of prominent lawyers who will make sure that nobody's right is taken for granted in the law courts. This bill will also decongest the prisons, where the masses, if you go to the prisons, you see that there are so many people who are poor, who cannot afford legal fees, and that is why they are there today.
The bill, after scaling through the third reading, was passed by the House after the Speaker, Moses Odongwa, put the question about its passage to vote.
A bill to provide establishment of the Office of Public Defender in the district and other matters connected thereto. So that thereby as its third reading passed into law.
When assented to by the governor, the bill will be cited as Ebonyi State Office of Public Defender Law 2026. In Abakaliki, Samuel Okpo, NTA News.
Speaker of the House of Representatives Abbas Tajuddin has felicitated with the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu on his birthday, describing him as a dear colleague, brother and dependable ally. Speaker Abbas says it has been a wonderful experience working with Kalu as they shared a common passion, mission and vision for the House, noting that their partnership in leadership has bettered not only the legislative institutions but also the people and the government of the country. The Speaker also noted that Kalu's leadership is inspired by his brilliance, hard work and patriotism. He stressed that as presiding officers, the Deputy Speaker makes the job of overseeing 358 other members who are representing other 200 million Nigerians easier. Speaker Abbas wishes Benjamin Kalu longevity and sound health to excel in his future ambitions. That concludes parliamentary news for this evening. For more updates, kindly follow NTA Parliament on the platform showing on your screen. Thanks for staying tuned. Once again, I am Abubakar Yusuf Galadima. Bye for now.